Hey, this is Majanoni, and here's some comic reviews for you. We'll start off with Trinity, number 4. Now, Trinity, basically, this is the third phase of, if you remember the previous issues, Poison Ivy basically has captured, incapacitated Bruce, Clark, and Diana, and she's putting them through this really weird trip thing where they're looking at themselves, looking at what makes them vulnerable, what makes them who they are, and this is now Diane, Wonder Woman's time. And I mean, the story's okay. I mean, this whole story, I can say from when you look at it from the start to finish, is okay. I think it might look better as a trade when it's all said and done, but part of me just kind of wants to move on a little bit. But at the same time, looking at it from a point of view of, let's say, for an example, you don't, either you're a new reader or maybe you want to see how these characters fit in the new rebirthed universe. In a way, it kind of is good to go through all the motions like that. It cements these characters. But overall, it's a decent read. I'm not doing cartwheels or flips or anything, but it's alright. Art's decent. So no major complaints or anything like that. Justice League versus Suicide Squad. This was actually pretty entertaining overall. It starts off with Amanda Waller sending the Suicide Squad in, and they have some issues, but while that's going on, Batman's going to the Justice League saying, "Hey everybody, this is what's going on," and they basically go down and try to apprehend the Suicide Squad. While that's going on, I should say at the beginning of the book, a character from the old pre-52 villain shows up. A very hated villain, but masterfully done villain at the same time. I don't want to say rescues. He enters a secret security prison and frees forgotten villains from the before New 52, like for example Dr. Polaris, Lobo, Emerald Eye or Emerald Princess or whatever her name is from Legion of Superheroes. Just I think it was Johnny Sorrow and I forgot the other guy, but overall, I mean it's a pretty dastardly dangerous group, especially when you combine it with the leader of this group. Overall, great. I mean, I thought that part was great that they're doing that and how they're incorporating that they're lost hero villains type thing. So, I think overall this is off to a great start. The art was pretty decent. The fight between the Justice League and the Suicide Squad was off to a good start, and even the Suicide Squad battle at the beginning was pretty good, pretty bloody, and overall pretty decent. So I'm glad to see they're on the right track. Okay, Justice League 11. This was definitely a payoff issue. This issue was just nothing but fighting and action, and I was very, very pleased. The art was decent, and I liked how in the fighting it was basically things seemed to move. There were people who were trading targets, or heroes changing out which villains they were fighting. Villains that got knocked out just come right back into the mix of things. Overall, great story, great battle. Art was decent. Very, very pleased. Superman. Okay, now as I was thinking about this issue, to me what it really looks like is it's basically showing everybody, Frank, his Bride of Frankenstein, and Agents of Shade, where their places within the new Rebirth universe, which is fair. I mean, it only took up 2 episodes or 2 issues as they dive into these characters. And for those of you who didn't know who these people were because you didn't buy Agents of Shade during the New 52, they do a great job at saying who these 2 characters are, their feelings towards each other, and all of that part was great. And I think if they were to appear again, as long as you've read this, you're on board as to what's going on between them, Agents of Shade, and all that stuff. The art was decent, story was decent. I'm glad it didn't go like 5 issues. Overall, I was pretty entertained. Doctor Strange, this was crazy. It's basically this guy with this huge eyes, basically saying, "I'm one of the Watcher's eyes, and I watch, but I'm not supposed to act, but sometimes I do little nudges." And while all this is going on, it's a setup for everybody who hated Doctor Strange to appear and all want to kill him at the same time. And that's what this eventually leads into. And technically, Doctor Strange just sits back. Hopefully his villains will just fight amongst each other before they get to him. And he won't have to do much after that. Great. I'm really enjoying this. Aaron's run on this. The art's decent. The art, like I said, really fits the story very well. And I've been very happy with the new Doctor Strange. Okay, Thanos. For those of you who don't know, Thanos is dying. And he basically goes to see his father, Mentor. And he's deep in Shi'ar territory. And while that's going on, he's trying to find a cure. And Mentor does explain to him kind of like what's going on, but there's no instant cure for this. While that's going on, you have the gathering of close people to Thanos. Like, for example, his son, Eros, Nebula, and the Champion. He's not close, but he's still wrapped in on this. But they're basically plotting to kill him. They figure this is the only time they're going to get. The son knows that he's dying. So if they're going to kill him, they have to do it now. Because, if he finds a cure, they're all screwed. So this is a decent read so far. I'm enjoying it. The art is spectacular. I cannot wait until see the fight with the Imperial Guard next issue. Very, very happy. Okay, Batman, I Am Suicide. Overall, this actually was a really great storyline. I think this will make a great trade. And I'm glad it's been coming out kind of quickly. Because otherwise, I think a lot of the momentum that this issue, the storyline's been needed, would have been just lost. Basically, like if you go a couple issues back, you had one issue pretty much devoted Catwoman talking. Then you had an issue predominantly Batman talking. Well, at the beginning, this is predominantly Bane talking. But then it goes into, Batman's plot and plan basically comes to a head, and everybody starts getting involved. And overall, this was a great story. The capture of the Psycho Pirate, very pleased. And great issue. There's also a thing that connects into the Suicide Squad here. And overall, I'm enjoyed this a lot. This was definitely a great. If you look at the series as a whole, King has been doing a great job since after Snyder left, and DC just needs to keep doing stuff like this, and they'll be fine. This, on the other hand, I think this is an average. I call it rubbish, but technically it really is just an average book. It's basically Ned basically is telling Peter what happened. And I'm sorry, but I just find it so convenient that when Ned's body dissolved and the Jackal just conveniently stumbles, comes up right where the body's dissolved and takes enough of the residue, so this way he can basically clone him again. And then also they're basically saying the plan is, since you couldn't really stop the people from getting killed, so the plan is to bring back now Uncle Ben. And then it's when he goes into the whole story of this is the situation. This is what I've gone through. And I'm just like I said, I don't buy how convenient it was that the Jackal was watching the fight. And then, I'm just like, whatever. But whatever. It is what it is. And I don't know. I'm not quite liking this direction. But I can see where this could potentially be interesting. It's definitely... It's like, what do you do? Uncle Ben was a key person in Peter's life. Do you bring him back? But at the same time, you bring him back with all memories intact, and then he's got to take a pill for the rest of his life type thing in order to survive. And then it's not only is it a pill, it's connected to the Jackal. And what happens if that ever gets compromised? But I don't know. I'm not 100% on board with this as it is now. I can see why this is Slott's building this thing up to be the biggest thing, but I'm just still like, eh. And finally, Gamora. I really liked it. Now, one thing I was glad about was they did not take modern day Gamora and say, okay, this is what she's like in the Guardians of the Galaxy, blah, blah, blah. This goes into her past, and it talks about her hatred towards the Badoon, and there's some Thanos, Nebula stuff going on. It shows why she's like one of the most dangerous people in the universe. So this is a great job. A great concept for the character. I mean, the comic art's been good, and overall, I'm very pleased. I'll definitely pick up more. And anyways, that's the comic reviews for you. Let me know what you guys picked up, what you guys didn't like, what you didn't like. We'll have more videos later. Like, share, and until next time.